This is a little lentil how-to. I've actually been putting off doing this because it's a lot of information and I had to get my head around how I was going to explain it. But the reason that lentils matter is that when you're working with dals, the sort of lentil that you use as the base of the dal influences enormously how to cook it, how to spice it, and what the end result is going to be. So it's one thing I've learned teaching people over the years is how often lentils are used in, I don't want to say the wrong capacity, but kind of the wrong capacity. The best dals for me are the dals with lentils that are used that have or have had their starch removed or don't have a high starch content to begin with. When I make my simple yellow dal, there is a recipe for simple yellow dal on the channel. I use predominantly one of two types of lentil, and they're both yellow. This is a chana dal. So chana is chickpea, so this is split dried chickpea. And this is tur dal. Tur is pigeon pea, so split and dried. So what I wanted to show you, you kind of have to get a little bit up close for this. So the chana dal is thicker, it's less glossy, and it's a heavier form. The tur dal is more slight, it has a sheen, and it's just even in a split form, it's less in size than this one here. What that means is that the heavier and the thicker the dal, the more it's going to hold its shape, and the less starch it has, the more the flavour of the spicing will come through, and the end product itself has this beautiful structural quality. So it's not glutinous, it's not gluggy, it's not overly thick, and it's not flat in terms of its flavour profile, which to me are all of the things that I don't want my dal to be. These two over here are different dals altogether. So this one here is a split white urad dal. I sometimes use urad dal in combination with a chana dal, just for fun, if I want to have a little bit of, I guess a little bit more thickness through the dal. This will, under pressure, or when this is cooked, the urad dal will actually break down and become a heavier base, and then the chana dal provides a little bit of structure. So then you have you're playing with lentils to create different end effects in the dal, and that's really fun once you start to get a little bit familiar with what their functions are. You can play around a little bit. So this is red lentil, and this is the lentils that people tell me they use a lot and have trouble with. It's really soft. When it's cooked for any length of time, it becomes quite claggy, and it even has that taste in the end result, and that's because of the starch content. Even when you soak it, it starts to deconstruct. It starts to lose its structure. But if you're going to use a red lentil, there's two ways to do it. One is to combine it with a more structural form, so a split pea, a chana dal, or a tur dal. The other is to soak it, but soak it for less time, cook it with more liquid, and to also add a little bit of produce in there as well, which helps to break up its density and also to leaven some of the starch agency that's in there as well, which means that the spice will come through a little stronger. So that's just a beginner's guide to lentils. If you liked this information, if you found it helpful, it's very helpful for me if you like the channel and subscribe. It means that I can keep doing what I'm doing, which I love. There will be more recipes for dals on the channel going forward, and also second editions of discovering a little bit more about the other lentils that we haven't spoken about today and ways in which you can use them.